Hello, welcome to Matters of DeCorum. I'm Scott Corum. This is what matters to me. I got another campaign starting up. Um, my Wednesday group, which has stayed together through thick and thin over the past year, grown a little bit. Um, we've been doing online gaming. We've been doing online gaming 4 or 5 nights a week. To tell you the absolute truth, as a social group, they have kept me sane. Some of them more than others. Um, and we have all been looking forward to a time in the future where we could again gather face to face, maybe over some dice and some dungeons, perhaps with dragons in them, and play a role playing game. Some of the folks in the group haven't played, a role playing game with us yet, uh, and looking forward to this. And that time is rapidly approaching. I had my second shot of the Pfizer vaccine a week ago Friday. So this Friday, um, the end of the week this video comes out, my 2 weeks are up, and I will be cleared to go out and do things again. Um, After 13 months in isolation, I'm imagining I'm going to go a little nuts, but amongst the things we're gathering for D&D. Some of it's going to be online, some of it's going to be, we're going to have folks in and out of teleconference for it. We're going to have to arrange our technology. It's going to be a challenge, and I'm looking forward to it because I've done a lot of electronic gaming over the past year, and this is going to be fun to set up, to arrange our new gaming space so that we can take advantage of some of the technology and services that we have encountered over the past year. So that's a wonderful thing. And the next game, the next game conversation is always a joy, because people in this game are really hungry for it. The Warriors of Wednesday we haven't had a proper role playing game for a while, um, and we're about due. We're about due, and I probably need to run something. Um, it's not that I'm in any possible chance of getting rusty at this point in time, but you run stuff for your different groups, and by doing a number of different groups, you expand, you stretch. And I love this group because everything goes so wrong, so fast, so hard with our games. We tried playing D&D 5th edition once before. I started them with the first level, and the entire party died because one of them started a brush fire with the bonfire spell. This just, hey, look, I can cast big fires, and this place that we're attacking is in the middle of a forest, and I can make, and then, one person failed their roll to get out of the fire to extricate from the adventure, and everyone else went in and succumbed to smoke, and yeah, yeah, killed most of the party. And that's like 2, 3 years ago, so we haven't been back to it again. About time. Starting them out at 5th level, give them a reasonable chance to survive a brush fire. Brush fires are dangerous. We live in Southern California. We know that brush fires are dangerous. So I threw a campaign concept out there, and I started with elements of Eberron, alternate art cover, Eberron 5th edition, source book. The friendly local gaming store hooks me up. I ask them to get me a D&D book. They make sure there's at least one alternate art cover available because I will probably be picking that one up. Thank you, Miriam at the Game Chest. Hashtag not sponsored. I would accept a sponsorship from the Game Chest in a heartbeat, but hashtag not sponsored. Um, and well, I've been talking about elements I wanted to use in the game here for weeks. So the psychic steampunk fantasy Old West game is a thing. And I've already got a collection of characters that are just, it is a fascinating array of personalities and backgrounds and, folks doing callbacks to other games, and bringing in brand new stuff. And oh god, they started going to Hero Forge and building their characters as figures in Hero Forge and taking snapshots of those. And so they got these Hero Forge figure um, character sketches that one of our new members is just she's doing like multiple poses and different costumes, and here's what she's like eating at a campfire. It's brilliant. Um, so uh, there's a lot of enthusiasm here, and I'm terrified because when I mentioned Eberron, folks went out and got the books, started studying the lore, and I'm not using the Eberron lore. I'm using stuff I was working on as background for the layer action. Um, there are elements of the lore incorporated. There are things from the Eberron book that are absolutely being used. It's a steampunk game in D&D, so obviously I'm using stuff from there, throwing some new rules. I've redesigned firearms in D&D specifically for this campaign, and I might publish those rules later down the line. They're kind of evolving in my head as I go, and I might want to tweak some things about the artificer as I go along. I have a lot of ideas. I've got a background in lore and adventure, and this is where there are people involved in the game who are more knowledgeable about this stuff than I am, which is intimidating for a dungeon master. It's also a tremendous resource if you can marshal it properly. And, we've got a specific channel on Discord for discussing the game, and I ain't got to answer half the questions because other folks come up with the answers for me before I get a chance to even see if the question was asked. And that's not a bad thing. If I need to clarify something, I absolutely will, but damn, it's a good group when you get that kind of synergy and that much information and this much enthusiasm over what's coming. We don't even know when our first game session is. It's coming up at some point in time. Gives people plenty of time to roll their characters and come up with all the background. And we are researching. I won't use D&D Beyond. We might use Roll20 in some capacity. Because we are going to have folks that are online. I'm going to have a laptop there. Most of the people involved are going to have a laptop there. And it's going to be a blast. And I don't know what we're doing. I have thrown the pitch, the Wild Wild West in meets the Lord of the Rings. Because as an elevator pitch, that's really good cultural shorthand. I've already been asked by one of the people, younger member of the group, if I meant the terrible Will Smith movie, The Wild Wild West, and I did not. I was referring much more to the television series from which it drew its name, and very little else. And you can catch that. I'm sure it's available someplace on the web. I'm sure you catch some of it on YouTube even. Just a fun show, Old West and spies and gadgets, and a lot of early steampunk elements before steampunk was steampunk. So kind of fascinating there. And so there's going to be travel and mysteries and grand threats and little problems to solve. It's going to be a Western series. And when I was growing up, Western series were a dime a dozen. Bonanza, and the Barclays, Wild Wild West, Gunsmoke. You couldn't throw a stone without hitting one. And so I've got a lot of stuff. I love Western movies. Uh, I can, and if the layer action and gaming with them has taught me anything, it's that I don't need to come up with a plot. I need to roll on a random table for some movie, some television show, some plot that has already existed before westerns were westerns. If I go to old Akira Kurosawa films and just grab a plot from there and throw it as part of an adventure, uh, I can have the most straightforward plot ever. I could throw a fetch quest to this group. It's like, well, there's a thing over there. It's really valuable and I need it here. I'll give you more than it's worth because I really need it here. I will reward you handsomely for it. Just remember, there's bad hombres over there who would prefer to keep it for themselves. But I am the rightful owner, and I need you to get it for me. And if that is it, if there's MacGuffin A on the other side of bad guys B that need to be brought back to patron C, if the map is a straight line to a town in the middle of nowhere surrounded by bad guys, completely average, typical Western plot, mixed with a completely typical, average fantasy trope adventure. And this group will turn it into an exploding circus in half an hour. If it takes them that long. I'm not going to know where the clowns came from. I'm not going to know why the clowns are on fire. I'm not going to know how they packed them all in the little car. It's just going to happen. You watch. You watch. Some of them are going to watch this, and they're going to make that happen just because I said that. Or worse, rest assured you're going to hear stories about this game. And that is what I know for a fact. Not just this group. Any group I run for. Any group I've been running for a while. Any group I start running for, really. I don't know if maybe it's me. But once I lay down that bog standard roll perception to find the MacGuffin, there is a 10-foot by 10-foot room with a chest being guarded by an orc. Once I drop that absolutely standard, boring adventure plot down in front of people, you can start a timer and see if we set the record for how long until the clowns get set on fire. No. So suddenly there is another meteor heading for Nunorphia 4, and we're off to the races, and we're kidnapping thoroughbreds for their semen, and I don't know. You had to shoot bad guys. But that's okay. We can do this. I guess we're doing this now. So we're doing this. Everyone, roll initiative. That's where my excitement comes from. People are excited because they get to dig into a character and they get to play this game and they get to run through the playground that is our shared mental sandbox. And it has been such a wonderful place so many times before. And now I'm trying in my head to come up with examples of what's going to happen. And this is as close as I can get. Seriously, this is as close as I can come. Circus on fire, clowns exploding, their arms wide at Tanagra when the walls fell. because I can't predict what they're going to do with this first grade elementary Fetch 101 quest. Fixer Upper Castle. Maybe they get a Fixer Upper. No. No, this group needs a Fixer Upper airship. Might not even fly when they find it. Needs some work. At least one person in the party can do that kind of work that I know of. Gonna need some stuff. Other persons in the party can probably go and get some of that stuff. Maybe say a couple of prayers over it. Hope that lifts the clean spirits, because there ain't nothing else bringing it into the air right now. Oh yeah. Oh, and I get tingles. I get tingles when I have that situation down in front of me. It's like, man, if you told people you were going to run a game like this, if you told people who had not played D&D and who hadn't played D&D with me that you were going to have, they're going to go grab something for a guy. They're probably going to have to go through a couple of banditos, and there's and might score themselves a old disused airship, maybe something they can fix up for themselves. And that is that an adventure? It's like, oh god, that's not an adventure. That's a campaign. That lights a rocket at the back of a group like this. And I don't know how far we're going to go. I don't know how far we can, because with these people, it's going to be over the top and blowing up dragons on the horizon before I know it. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to hold this thing back. They're just going to take off and run, and I'm here for it. It's going to be amazing. Oh. And that's why I do this. New campaign. And everyone's excited. Well, thank you for following me along on this particular ramble. You're going to hear stories about this campaign. You're going to hear stories about this. I'll try and keep you posted as things happen. It might produce some unique information, some unique rules and whatnot, and I'll see if I can't share that with you, one way, shape, or form. Feeling good about it. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, give me a thumbs down. Feedback is feedback. If you'd like to hear more about this or more of my rambles on how these things come together, things you'd like to hear me talking about, questions you'd like to hear me answer, go ahead and leave me a comment below. I will love getting your comment. You'll love leaving me one. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, why not? My channel is awesome. Hit the subscribe button. If you do subscribe, go ahead and hit the notification bell too, so you're alerted when my videos become available. If you would like to contribute to the channel in a more substantial manner, I invite you to hit me up my Patreon page, www.patreon.com/ScottCorum, and consider donating. Absolutely anything helps, allows me to make better videos more often. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching. I'm Scott Corum, this is What Does Matter to Me, and I will see you next time on the next Matters of DeCorum.